CVUO has made new funds available to clubs. I sat down with Hassan Ahmed, their president, and Rosabelle Rosario to discuss the details. Where did this extra 60K come from?
It's actually 200,000 that we have extra this year. Then we divided it up in the semesters. 120K for the fall, 60K for the winter, and then 20K for the summer semester. Where it came from, that's a question for UOSU finance department. We asked for it and they punched up the numbers, and that's what they came up with. Their idea was that they wanted to provide if every single club applied, they wanted to provide a certain amount to every single club. Mm-hmm. So that's how they did the math.
And then, what's it for? Kind of like why now, sort of, getting this extra funding?
Well, we've always wanted club funding. Last year, it was kind of not within our mandate to do, like the CVO mandate. It was kind of UOSU handling it. But we decided this year that since we were taking care of all the other club things, it would only make sense if we took care of club funding as well. So we pushed for it. Then they were like, yes, you can do all these things regarding club funding. At the end of the day, it's still a UOSU's decision on who gets the funding. We're just handling all the logistics.
And then, how are you guys dividing it along that tier system? Why'd you settle on that?
So we decided that didn't really make sense to compare a $17,000 application with, let's say, like $100 application, right? So we divided up into 3 tiers where larger clubs and larger applications would be pitted against each other, and then smaller applications would be pitted against each other, and there's allocated money for each tier.
Why did some clubs not receive funding last semester?
So a lot of clubs didn't get all of their funding or even some funding just based on how they organized their budget. So if it wasn't super detailed, if it wasn't concise, they wouldn't be able to get funding because we don't know what we're paying for. We don't know what we're getting them funding for in the first place. Some clubs applied for things that we can't actually provide funding for, things like exec hoodies, things like Ubers to get places.
And then are there any kind of conditions for this funding? And can it be taken back? Just because we heard about the right-wing club getting their club status removed and then they had to pay back the money.
We have a really rigorous process in terms of clubs have to tell us exactly what they want that money for, like the exact items, and then need to submit receipts after the semester's done, proving that they bought exactly what they said they would buy. And if they don't do that, or if their plans changed, they either need to submit another application, like an amendment, or they need to return the money. In the right-wing club situation, that's a situation where we gave a club money and the club is no longer a club, so they can't continue spending the money we already gave them.
Right.
For any money that they've already spent before they were decertified, we're not asking for that back.
For the Fulcrum, I'm Sam Coulavin.